Coming up on Up at Noon, is Nintendo Switch Nintendo's sexiest console yet? Finally, an action figure that comes with a burrito, and Michael Peña and Dax Shepard join us to talk about chips. All that and more right now on Up at Noon Live.
Hey!
Hey!
Whoa! It's what?
It was like you just opened an Italian restaurant. Hey! Welcome to the show!
Brian, I host a show with you. It's like I open an Italian restaurant every week.
I think you're going to become like periodically more Italian the longer you spend time with me.
Going to. Like, we do this every week. Anyway, this is Up at Noon. I'm Max Goebel. This is Brian Altano. We're best friends in real life. We
true.
have each other's phone numbers and everything. We give each other Christmas presents.
Yeah.
And we do this show every week. It's a grab bag, junk food advent calendar of nonsense pop culture baloney. You can watch us on IGN.com, IGN's myriad apps on PS4, Xbox One, Apple TV, Roku, all various platforms such as twitch.tv/IGN, Facebook, YouTube. Just anything that says IGN on it.
All of them.
Hopefully we're on there every Thursday at noon Pacific time.
Yeah.
And then we even record the show and then put it up after the fact.
It's crazy talk.
Amazing.
You can also catch us on Twitter using the hashtag #UpAtNoon. Please use that hashtag because towards the end of this episode, we'll be looking for your questions and comments, and we'll have a little interaction. We'll engage socially as smarter, richer people than us say.
Hashtag trending.
Did you say a baloney advent calendar? Because that sounds like the most disgusting thing I've ever heard.
What are you talking about? Sausage of the day. Count down the birth of our Lord with the many summer sausages and the Christmas time.
Yes, the perfect. Get the hot meat out of that paper box every morning. As you count, our producer Dan Parkhurst is in the corner, already in tears. We have a really awesome episode this week. I'm incredibly excited for it. We got to bring in Dax Shepard and Michael Peña from the movie CHiPs. Max and I saw it this week. It's a really good time. It's very goofy.
Yeah.
We laughed a lot, even though we went to go see it on a Monday morning.
Yeah, that's actually the worst time to go see a comedy. There were like a bunch of weird like Home Depot dads in the corner of the theater, and they really liked, I don't know, one of the motorcycle jokes. But it's a blast.
I'll put it this way: if you're in a movie theater on a Monday morning and you're not divorced and wearing sweatpants,
yeah, we're meeting your like FBI
what's going on?
contact, maybe.
Yeah, it's a weird ass time to see a movie, but we made it work, and I got to see it again last night. So either way, we had them on the show today to talk about making that, which because they're great and we're stupid, just devolved into something completely ridiculous.
Daylight savings time was the excuse I was going with. But anyway, here's Dax Shepard and Michael Peña, the cast of CHiPs. They're good guys. Let's take a look.
Welcome back. I'm with Max Scoville, Dax Shepard, and Michael Peña of CHiPs.
Get busted, my friend.
Yeah, the movie's out March 24th. I've seen it twice this week already, which
Whoa.
is pretty amazing. Usually I do that only for like Star Wars movies.
Oh wow, we're joining some very good company.
You're up there
joining
with
the
some of
Force?
the best movies ever made. You're joining the Force.
Nice.
So welcome to the show. Congrats on the new film.
Thank you so much.
This
Thank
was
you for you hosted a Q&A last night.
Oh, yeah, of course,
It
guys,
was very
anytime.
kind of you, and you were gregarious and lovable, and people enjoyed you.
The reviews are in.
Yeah. I'm going to see that Q&A twice. Say you back.
Wow, it's up there with Star Wars.
Yeah.
You're only saying that because you're in it. Tell me about how this movie got together, because this is obviously something you wanted to do for a long time, right?
Yeah, I like all things motorsports, cars, motorcycles, and so I'm always looking to do anything that can hold comedy and motorsports. So CHiPs is, two heroes on motorcycles in California, which is a good recipe for an action comedy.
And you knew kind of early on that you wanted Michael to be your sidekick, right?
Well, I knew before I knew I was going to be in it that Peña should be Ponch. I felt like only Peña would be able to play Ponch. There were probably a dozen guys that could have played John Baker.
Did you have others in mind before you picked yourself?
Well, yeah, I was like, boy, it'd be awesome if Chris Pratt was John Baker,
Yeah.
right? Love him. Channing Tatum.
Yeah, that's
Be a much better John Baker.
Brad
That's a good list.
Brad Pitt, Bradley Pitt.
Well, there's very few times where you can like take those three names and then throw them off the list and be like, no, me.
Well, I didn't do it actually. The studio said you should be in it.
Because it's not enough to like write and direct a movie. They want you doing
They
motorcycle
they
stunts
really
at the
wanted
same
me to
time.
fail. Yeah.
That's
They were
like walking and chewing gum turned up a little bit.
Yeah. So, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think most people think that writing and directing and hosting a movie is sort of like, it's like when you used to take a picture of yourself back in the day where you would put a camera down and then run across the room and then wait.
Oh yeah, which is
Yeah.
kind of like a selfie.
Yeah.
You get convinced the whole time that the timer's not working.
Yep.
And then right as you move to reset it, it goes off.
And then you have to bring the thing to like a 1 hour photo, and man, taking pictures
Yeah.
used to be the worst.
Yeah, which is
You're
why I
almost
didn't do it. I have virtually no pictures of my childhood or early 20s.
There's a specific time, I think, in most people's lives that are around this age now where there's like 15 years where there's just no photos.
Which is probably healthier because your memory's very forgiving.
Yeah.
Like in my memory in my 20s, I would say I was a 7.
Yeah.
But if I saw pictures, I'd be like, no, you were a 6. It's not always great to have photographic evidence of everything.
I think I was up 1. I think I was. I think I was
you were a 7.
Yeah, I'm a solid 6 now.
I
but was a
believe
7.
I believe you were. I do believe that.
The thing is, I think now you have more opportunity than ever to make up for it with personality and stuff like that.
Right, and stuff like that.
Yeah, you're in movies. That helps.
Yeah,
Stuff
that's
like that,
certainly
yeah.
a
Most
door
middle
opener.
schoolers, in puberty aren't in films.
Yeah.
Most of them.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah, you got to rely on what I relied on then, which was jokes and dancing. Those were the things I doubled down on.
Jokes and dancing?
Yeah, I was like, if you can dance and tell jokes, you have good chance.
Telling jokes is good. Is always
same
good.
time?
I got laid more when I was younger because I wasn't married.
That helps.
That helps.
That's,
Yeah.
It's less of a crime.
Although for some people, that doesn't seem to stand in the way. It
He
seems
gives me this sad confirmation.
So let's talk about the plot of this film, because obviously I think when people think of a movie like Chips, they're like, well, the story is sort of second place, but there's something like very sort of unique about the plot of this movie that I think like just going in, it isn't your sort of traditional heist story.
Well, are you talking about D'Onofrio's character? Yeah, so I knew Vincent D'Onofrio was going to play the bad guy, and he's such a tremendous actor. He's significantly better than Michael and I. In order, it goes D'Onofrio, Peña, me, just to be clear. Acting
saw that on
skill-wise.
IMDb,
Yeah, it's ranked.
Star
Although
meter.
the gap's much
There's
bigger than
talent
what I
meter
just
as
did.
well.
I just did like this, and it really goes like this.
There's
and
talent
then,
meter and star meter, and sometimes they don't coincide. Yeah.
Yes.
Hot or not.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you get an actor that's that good, it feels like a waste to give him kind of a one-dimensional bad guy role. So he does have a kind of emotional storyline. He's trying to save his kid, which I just feel like it makes it more compelling. Like my favorite kind of movies are like Tarantino movies where you're kind of rooting for the bad guy. You're like, I don't know, man. I like when Marcellus Wallace and Butch are fighting. I'm not sure who I want to win
right.
in that store.
It's like Breaking Bad. It's like you're rooting for this anti-hero until the very end.
Yeah.
You're like, I don't know if I should be cheering for this dude anymore.
Yeah,
Yeah. Like,
that's
you wrecked
fun
everything.
to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like feeling conflicted.
Morally ambiguous.
Like D'Onofrio's character is legit pretty terrifying. Like he's,
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
a frightening
Oh yeah,
force.
and he's a
and
big dude too.
How did you direct him? Because you guys are obviously like you're kind of playing off being friends and goofing around, but did you have to tell him like, no, don't be funny, like be scary or?
Well, yeah, it's not because he's big and intimidating. That's the issue, because he's a teddy bear in real life.
Yeah,
like the
he's
sweetest
really
guy.
nice.
But it is more us both knowing he's a better actor than me. And
That's
for
intimidating.
me
That's
to
more
tell
intimidating.
him what I want him to do with his acting, it's just weird coming from someone that's not as good of an actor.
Right.
So he really does have to click out of the fact that I'm an actor in the movie and go at like, okay, this is the director
Yeah.
talking.
He had no
Just
problem
because I
telling me
can't
what
do
to
it doesn't mean I don't know what I want to see. You know, it's very, yeah.
One of the other things you directed in this movie were just insane vehicles, stunts. Like, what was it like working with
Kristen's
like,
boobs.
Kristen's boobs.
They're a handful.
Yeah.
Boom.
Damn.
Yeah.
You
I
can
get it.
say that. I would get in trouble if I said that.
That's why I said
You want to get in trouble.
Really?
No.
Oh, okay.
You can say she
There
had
it
big
is.
boobs in the movie. She was breastfeeding and didn't pump. She was pumping like every 3 hours, and then for the
practical
movie
effects.
she didn't.
And it's
do it.
amazing because
Practical
like
effects, yeah.
when you see it in person, it's like she was going.
Yeah.
Oh,
it looked scary
did.
to me.
It was- yeah.
I thought they might rip.
That's how little I know about pregnancy. Is that
Oh, yeah.
you get the milk.
Oh, they
yeah,
just
so the mothers
with a
feed
good
the
old-fashioned
children.
bicycle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like the detonating thing on the train.
Well, I mean, it's a
tracks from
slow
old
one,
cars.
but it is like you see them grow. Like
Oh, she inflates them.
Yes. By letting no
that's
one
what
else.
I like how you asked about like stunts and then here we are.
Oh yeah.
breastfeeding.
So
It's
funny
hel-
that you like you
helicopters.
said it doesn't.
Yeah.
How do
Aren't those
you
great?
how do you work with a helicopter? Like, what's that? Do you like? Is there like how many helicopters do you have in this movie? Do you have to rent them? Or like,
Yeah, it's more involved than you would guess probably, because there's pretty strict rules about how low you can fly a helicopter in Los Angeles. Even if you have a movie permit, they don't want you under 150 feet. And as you see, we flew one in the LA River. So there's a lot of tricks. You can kind of film them when they're taking off or landing, which is kind of a trick. When they need to refuel, they can kind of hover in spots. So there's a lot of there's a lot of smoke and mirrors that goes into getting good helicopter stuff.
And now, Michael, this was your first time riding a motorcycle
Yeah.
for this film?
Yeah, I rode.
That's him right
That's him right there.
Yeah. What are the baby steps for something like that for anyone who's never...
Baby steps was really baby steps. I remember I got a very small bike and I was just going around a parking lot and I actually made the guy film me and I sent it to Dax and there was no response.
Ooh.
There was no response. And then
bold.
but I look at it now and I'm going so slow.
Well, I mean, that's kind of fits
But it
your
was kind
character.
of
That
sent
works.
with the like the subtext of it was like, I got this, bro.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I look at it now, I'm like, I clearly don't have it.
And then we put him on a 850-pound cop bike and put him on the highway going 70.
And all my
and he had
insecurities came rushing back.
And he had like 3 pages of dialogue to say while riding the motorcycle. So it was not. It was it was baptism by fire. As they say.
So do you like
he
it,
did
or are you
great.
going to keep doing that? for
I
fun,
have
or-
a bike now.
Oh,
Wow.
cool.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Did you get it for free for the movie, or was it like a...
Oh no, I wish.
You had
I
to go
wish.
buy a
No,
motorcycle?
I actually bought it. It was like, but I think I got screwed on the deal. I'm not gonna lie. It was like they saw me coming. The guy was like, oh yeah. And if my wife was with me, I'm pretty sure that I would have paid like much. It was like $5,000. I ended up paying like $9,000.
Oh, boy.
I remember you texted me. That was another text exchange we have. Like, I just paid this for this. Does that seem right? And it didn't seem right.
Oh.
Remember that?
Yeah, because
hit
of
me right after
the
you left.
assembly fee and there's all these fees.
There's a
I'm
lot
like,
of
it
hidden
almost
fees.
cost twice as much. And it was
It
Honda
originally
on
had 5
Sunset.
wheels, and they had to take the 3 of
Yeah.
them off, because that's a common problem.
Honda
with
on
motorcycles.
Sunset.
They
If
built
you're-
it as
If you're
a
gonna buy a
car,
bike
right.
there, I would suggest you bring someone who knows about bike shopping. I'm gonna throw them under the bus because they threw me under the bus.
Wow.
Well, you heard it here first.
So I really loved your chemistry in this movie, and I really felt like the kind of thing where I didn't want your character story to just end there. I want you guys to make more of these.
Thank you. We desperately want to make more
Yeah.
of these. Yeah. We
So
would love
what
to do
has
that.
to happen for that
It's
to
got to
happen?
be big in Japan.
It's gotta-
Really? Is that it? That's the key?
Well, that would not hurt.
Yeah.
But it has to do well. You know.
Yeah.
If it does well, then they'll ask us to do more and more and more.
Sweet.
As I said last night, our goal is to pass Fast and Furious. We want to get to 13 before they do.
Movies, that is.
Police
Yeah.
Academy too.
I think they're on 8, so we got to haul ass. We got to really catch up.
You got a bank
We
shooting,
might
right?
release 3 chips next year.
awesome.
Maybe even do more than like Seinfeld.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe we'll bring it back to TV for a minute just to catch up, and then
Yeah.
we'll go back into the movie theater.
Well, it seems like you guys really just had a lot of fun making it. Is that
Yeah.
is that true? Like,
Yeah,
it
that's
wasn't.
not.
Yeah.
It's not the norm.
Yeah.
And you can tell when actors like they deflect or they're like, how was it working on the movie? And we're like, you know what? Great weather.
Yeah.
That weather was amazing.
Love Boston. What a great place to work.
Boston's so great.
Yeah.
No, you guys honestly look like you were just kind of goofing around, having a good time, but you still. I mean, there's like the right balance of like you guys are just dicking around on bikes, and also you're making a movie, so it's like that.
Well, it was like a 12-year-old fantasy camp because every single day we would blow something huge up.
What was your
or,
favorite?
Or that propane tank that we blew up on the
That
side of
was
the
nice.
live.
That was
Oh,
nice.
it was mushroom
nice.
cloud size. It was amazing.
Yeah.
That was great. But all the explosions for me worked. It was so fun. So yeah, either we blew something up, someone
Somebody
did
was
an
naked.
impossible stunt on a motorcycle, or someone was nude. It was really a dream job.
sounds
Some
Great.
humor.
Sounds
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Guys, thank you so much. Chips is in theaters March 24th. Go see it so they can surpass the amount of films that the Fast and Furious movies are
If
made.
for no other reason, please.
We're also going to take down Land Before Time,
Yeah.
Final Fantasy, Seinfeld, anything that there's been way too much of.
I want to see you guys in Japan, in space, back in time, with pets,
Yes.
Motorcycles
RoboCop
and
with a
such.
sombrero.
talking
Oh,
motorcycles. Yeah.
We may turn into motorcycles on like Chips 21.
Dude, that sounds. We just sold
Just
like
do
10 movies
voiceover.
right there. That sounds fantastic.
Oh, that would be nice, right?
Yeah.
Michael, Dax, thank you guys so much.
Thank
for
you.
coming
For
through.
having us,
Appreciate it.
guys.
March 24th, Chips in theaters. Go see it. Welcome back.
Yeah.
We
here
did it.
are. So we had a segment we wanted to do with them, but just time didn't allow it. We were going to have the Chips guys try to identify actual chips, and in our weird sort of art school brain damaged ways, we made all these evidence bags that are different types of chips. Do you want to play this right now? Do a little challenge?
yeah, we can do that.
The ASMR crowd's going to love it. If you've never heard a man eat kettle chips into a microphone, ooh,
Those
you're
smell
in
really
for a
good.
treat. What do you think that is?
It smells like onion, some kind of onion thing.
It's number B?
Yeah.
So I actually wrote answer cards, but I think I got them out of order trying to cut them up.
What's this one?
What do you think this one is? This one is, Yeah, I don't know what the hell that is. I think it's Parmesan garlic, maybe, Maui onion.
Ooh, that one stinks. What is that stinky
What's that
boy?
one? Let me see. You smell that stink? Yeah, I have no idea what that is. We totally forgot which kind of chips these are. What's funny though is after that interview, Dax Shepard just kind of goes over in the corner and he's like, "Oh, you got some chips there, huh?" And he just takes a bag and just starts snacking away. Anyway,
I'm the Chip Wolf.
Yeah, so in the episode description, it says we solved some snack food mysteries.
Yeah. So if
There
you're
we go.
hungry, come on down.
Yeah, come on
to
and
IGN. We got
have
about
some
7
snacks.
bags of chips. We're gonna throw them on the floor.
Yeah. Now
You
speaking,
can just roll around like an old truffle pig and gnaw them up.
don't say truffle pig on the website. It's,
What?
We'll get in trouble.
Is that bad?
Yeah, you made truffle pigs. Don't you know what that is?
No.
Yeah, truffle pigs. Anyway,
Don't Google it.
While you're up on Urban Dictionary, we got this awesome Marvel Legends 12-inch Deadpool. Marvel Legends, we talk about them all the time. They're the kind of the premier line of Marvel action figures. They've been doing 12-inch figures again. For a while, in the kind of I want to say mid 2000s, they were doing 12-inch ones, and then they stopped for a while, and they're bringing them back. And these guys, I think they've got a Captain America, they got a Spider-Man, they got an Iron Man, and they've got a Deadpool out. The Deadpool is, without question, the coolest one for one very specific reason. First of all, I wanted to unbox this earlier. It's so loud.
It's fine.
He comes with a burrito. He comes with a 1/6 scale burrito.
Can you
It's
tilt the meat
incredibly-
part towards
you
the
can see
camera?
that it's
That's
got. It
great.
could also be a chimichanga, but I mean, let's be realistic. Like people typically don't get chimichangas
Wrapped to
in
go.
tinfoil. Yeah. Chimichangas are a sit-down meat wrap. But yeah, that's awesome. It even comes with a hand that is specifically to hold. It's so loud, so loud. It's a burrito hand. Check it out.
That is so good.
I love this.
So let's check out this figure real quick, because I really like this. We've talked about the Marvel Legends on the show before. Hold on. Before we go any further, I need to talk about something very specifically here. Deadpool has a great ass.
That's not
Look at
new.
that.
That's not new at all. They literally advertised the movie with his ass.
No, but I mean, this toy specifically has a great ass. Can we get up? Can we really get up in there if that's possible? Look
He
at
also
that
comes
butt.
with
That's a great
comes
one.
with his sort of sidekick Headpool. Honestly, I'm like so behind on Deadpool comics. You could just make some garbage up and be like, "Here's Deadpool's new pal." It's actually I was gonna say Pool Boy, but that was totally a character.
Was it really?
Yeah. Then there's Dog Pool. There's a Lady Deadpool. Now there's Gwen Pool, who's just Gwen Stacy crossed with Deadpool.
We're getting up in there. There we go. You guys need to see that tush.
This is why they probably are going to stop sending us action figures. The fine folks at Hasbro, the family company, don't really want us showing off the toy's ass.
This
but,
is true.
Yeah, this guy will run you about $50. You can find them, wherever toys are sold, Toys R Us. I see these around. Deadpool, I think they're probably finally getting in front of the fact that people want Deadpool toys more than they want a lot of other ones. It's incredibly hard to find the regular 6-inch Marvel Legends of Deadpool. He just hasn't been distributed as evenly as the other guys. You
So
can
Max,
find-
this toy's out now,
yeah, it's out in the wild.
and how much does it go for?
$50.
And do they make any others in this line?
Yes, you weren't listening at all, were you?
I'm just trying to have you recap for the people and make sure
Just to
you were
recap
listening.
for the people, they got Iron Man, they got Spider-Man, they got I think they're doing a Thor, and they got Deadpool, and he comes with the chimichanga.
Is this a series that you think they're gonna keep making more and more like this?
I mean, if people go out and buy them,
Yeah.
maybe. I mean, it's interesting though because typically with 1/6 scale figures, you're getting stuff that's like soft goods, so like real cloth and real fabric and like little metal guns and whatnot, like
Yep.
the Sombrero RoboCop over here, who you can't see. Yeah, this one's real nice quality. I
And
like that it-
he's got these cool little weapons too, which I really dig, with the little Deadpool logo on them.
Yeah.
Love that.
It's got golden guns.
So yeah, go
Knives.
buy these. Put some cool stuff on your desk. We've been saying that for a long time. Like you can go get Funko Pops or Amiibo and stuff like that. They're cool. They're fun.
Yeah.
But like if you really want to start getting into some better high quality stuff, there's a couple lines that you can check out, and Marvel Legends is
You don't
definitely
even
one
have
of
to
them.
break the bank to do it. One thing I noticed is I feel like maybe the reason Funko Pops are so big is because they kind of they're like, oh, they're desk toys. They're not toys. I was at Target and I was in like the Blu-ray section, and they've got this whole weird sort of like quasi Think Geek Spencer's gift section where it's all like nerd T-shirts and like lanyards and like some kind of coffee table comic books, and they got this whole wall of Funko Pops, and I'm like. But you go over to the toy section and there's like, stuff like this. It's like, just go to the toy section. And if somebody gives you a weird look, say that you're shopping for your nephew's birthday present and you don't know what he likes.
I've definitely done that before.
Yep,
I actually
nephew.
did that. To be totally honest, when my Nintendo Switch got delayed by Amazon, I called up customer service and I was like, my son is going to be very upset. And they're like, yeah, sure, dude. Yeah, that's Marvel Legends. They're really awesome. I want more of them. How do you feel about like this sort of the paint ops on them? Because it's a little sparse.
The thing is, Marvel Legends used to be made by Toy Biz back in the early 2000s, and then Hasbro bought them out, and Hasbro kind of got a dip in quality in terms of just I think they're producing more of them. They had some that were sort of sloppy. These are incredibly clean, but not super detailed.
Right.
But he does like have some nice washes on the bandolier and stuff.
Yeah, and they have great sculpts. I think like just the sculpting on them is really nice.
I think they're getting a lot better. They're also kind of like picking and choosing what needs to be cast in the right color and what needs to be.
What's this in terms of the hard count of how many Deadpools you'll have on your desk now? How many is
I think
this?
this is number 6 maybe, and that's assuming Alana doesn't try to take this guy back, which she might.
No.
Come and get him.
No.
Yep.
You can't have it.
I'm gonna hide him.
You have enough.
The jungle of toys. Anyway.
So that's that. We get to play a really cool game. It's actually been out for a while, but we never got to play it on the show. And I love just sort of showing off cool, smaller little indie games. Max and I host a PlayStation show right here on IGN called Podcast Beyond, where we talk about everything from Horizon to Overcooked to even smaller games than that. But we got to play a game this week called Cursed Castilla. It's been on the PS4 for a little while now, and it's coming to 3DS, so you should check it out. If you grew up with old school, sort of like action platforming games that are terrifying, kind of like Ghosts and Goblins, or Goose and Goblins, as I call it in this video coming up.
Why would you even call it that? It's a terrible name.
It was hard.
Goose and Goblins.
Then you'll enjoy this. So let's take a look. Cursed Castilla.
Hey boys and girls, it's Brian and Max, and today we're playing Maldita Castilla, aka Cursed Castilla. It's basically chunky pixel art, old school goose and goblins,
Goose and
goblins,
yeah.
goblins and ghosts, super ghouls and ghosts, goose and goblins.
Okay.
I love it all. So we used to get games like this all the time back in the day, which was terrifying.
Well, now we get Dark Souls games.
Yeah, terrifying 2D platforming games that were half about like making swift jumps and mostly about trying to stay alive. What I loved about Ghosts and Goblins growing up, what the hell?
I don't like that, man.
Is that when you got killed, your clothes would fall off. We actually haven't seen that if that happens yet here.
Yeah,
This game's on it's on PS4, Xbox One, PC. I believe it's coming to 3DS as well, which is pretty rad because I love stuff like this being handheld. So you have 3 hearts, which is a little more forgiving than Ghosts and Goblins,
Good,
which is
'cause I'm a-
basically
damn it!
Rip. Dead.
Yeah, I'm a casual ass scrub.
These games are really hard. This I love, how they're just like, hey dude, deal with it.
Yep, you're back.
So you get sub-weapons here, like the big javelin that Max has right now. Hopefully we get a cool thing like an axe. Or cross.
Yeah.
Yeah, I miss games like this, man. I used to, like, the cool thing about games like this is, like, they had them on Nintendo, they had them on Genesis, they had them on Super Nintendo. You could just kind of watch them grow up. Super Ghouls and Ghosts was, like, one of my favorite first early games I ever got on Super Nintendo.
That game is, I mean, Super is that slightly easier than the original? There we go.
I mean,
Hand axe.
yeah, it's hard to describe that game as slightly easy at all. Oh man, yeah, you can't go back. You gotta learn. He's just gonna keep coming.
Damn it. You know what sucks about doing this is like, can't say a swear word.
Him and his bird son. Let me try.
Yeah, you try.
See
go
how
for
I
it.
do.
Did you have one of those friends who could just pick up Ghosts and Goblins and just get through it?
Oh yeah.
I love
yeah.
that. Jared Petty's our current friend who does that, but I got another friend, Ben, who can do that.
I
It's
don't
just like,
understand
love
how people do that. Like I'm pretty good at video games, but I
I-
see stuff like that.
Dude, I
and
think it's a mutant power.
yeah.
Because it's like, it's a special type of difficulty. It's not like being like, oh, I can just run through Mario. Like, a lot of people can do that, but like, this is just like, I don't know, it's a certain, delicate,
Yep.
witchy approach. Get that axe, the hand axe.
I don't know if I want that. Maybe I do. Is it up here? Because if it is, I don't have
You're
a
screwed.
choice.
You don't get it. Gotta fight this big, awful snake man.
Oh, what? Now he's
Right?
changing up his trajectory? No wonder this dude killed you.
Hey, got it. Oh, a nice
I got
roast
a nice
chicken.
sweet chicken meat.
I like that. So I always really love the aesthetics of Ghosts and Goblins. Like it's one of those games that I wanted to play
Oh.
more of because it's like I like all the monsters. I like
Yep.
What's his name? The Sir Edward or whatever. What's
It's
his
a
name?
man.
What's that dude's name?
Arthur.
Arthur. Edward.
Sir Arthur Edward.
Yeah, I don't know. Awful words. But yeah, it's a game that just kicks you right in the ass. Just comes out of there just with a big shoe on. Goes down to the like orthopedic shoe store. Just gets a big.
Now, what do
Shoot
you
for
what do you
kicking
think
an
that
ass.
shield's gonna do for me? Oh, get
What
out
is
of
that?
here!
That's a nightmare.
Weird, like, headless ninja.
Also, what would that even do to you? The guy doesn't have any hands.
He doesn't have a hand
He doesn't
or
have
a
claws
face.
or teeth. He's just gonna run into you. Yeah. Oh,
Let's
wait,
let him.
Oh,
No, sorry, I thought he was committing suicide because he's in so much pain.
God. Ooh, a pile of heads. I also love how gory this is.
It's very
Like it's
gory.
really, it kind of, we're so used to violence, but then we're like, wait a minute, they didn't have this in the original.
I think it feels different, like when someone like drew it.
Yeah.
I don't. Can I trust this man dead up here? I can't trust anything in this game. It's
No.
a spooky game.
Game's here to kick you in the ass.
Got me pooping the
Uh-oh.
other pants
Oh,
around.
no. Why is that even?
Oh!
What do you do? Is it, do you just wait for him
Yeah.
to? Good God.
Oh man, I got him.
Wow. That was quick.
I don't trust these dudes
Nice.
at
Yeah, this feels like it's definitely like a little bit.
all. Oh, you can
hey,
shoot up?
what's up? Blue Fairy, nice.
Sweet, you coming with me, lady?
She's gonna shoot some extra stuff for you. Oh,
Oh,
no,
look
no,
at
no,
that
no,
chunky.
no, thank you. Oh, blood
Just
pile.
exploded.
Nice little splatterhouse explosion there.
Yeah. That game was hard as hell, man.
That game was hard as hell, also because it was so slow.
Ooh. If he ran like that all the time, he wouldn't have those big honkers.
Don't talk about the man's honkers. That's no good.
I get a nice set of honkers myself. I can talk about some honkers. Oh man, they died doing what they love.
Oh, we gotta get those delicious blue ghosts. What?
Ah.
So, did you ever see sprites when you were a kid and you thought they looked like food and you wanted to eat them?
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah. Like, I still, for
What
whatever
the-
reason, like the super missiles in Super Metroid, they just look like candy to me.
Oh man.
Look like a nice, delicious green apple. Oh,
Dude, this game is getting ridiculously hard. What are these turd worms?
maggots. Probably.
Oh, they look at
Oh,
their
they got
weird
funny noses. Yeah, that's odd. Oh,
Oh!
no! Oh, that's a hell nightmare.
Oh no!
Oh boy. Get that box.
Oh no! He's gonna
Get that
fall.
funky old box. So this is all like there's a plan here. It's not just random crap being thrown at you,
Definitely
right?
not. Yeah, this is one of those games you can get better at.
I like that.
Yeah, this is not.
Not one of those games that just, you know. it's a
Get
stranger-
outta here, you
stranger
little
in the night.
turd worm.
Ugh.
I'm gonna go in my treasure chest and get my treats, and I can't miss that little turd.
Oh, a diaper.
What is
Lovely.
that?
A nice power-up diaper.
It's like a heat bag for like when you're sick.
No, it's a big old diaper. Oh,
He's falling
don't
from the ceiling.
like that.
Oh no! There he is. Sarampala.
Cool. Man, I
Oh!
love monsters. They're so cool. Kicking some ass here. I didn't get
Not
past
really.
that first dude. No, you're doing fine.
Oh man! Come on, right in the mouth. Uncle Turdworm over it.
Yeah, you got defeated by Uncle Turdworm.
Well, that's it. That's Curse Castilla. You can play it now. It's just a few bucks, and it'll whoop your ass for free.
Yeah.
Man.
Hey, look at that. It started you off at the boss, not at the beginning of the entire effing game.
That was actually very sweet. Usually
Yeah.
games don't do that like
This
this.
is a nice, forgiving game for snowflake millennials who need participation trophies and
Yep.
soft back rubs before nap time.
That's me.
Yep. No, it's not. That's me.
See you soon.
Bye.
Turdworm.
Stop saying that.
Ah.
And we're back.
Ooh, Jinx.
You owe me a Coke. Yeah, so we got a great question. James Easterly. I almost said Edward James Easterly. That's not his name. He actually is Easterly Art on Instagram. He did these awesome Gundam stickers. And,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's a really cool guy.
Fantastic. Go check out his stuff.
Yeah,
it's really good.
he had a great question. What would be your 1/6 scale food accessory if you were made into a Marvel Legends or other action figure?
Oh man, I mean,
Pizza.
pizza's the easy
I don't
one.
eat pizza anymore.
Yeah, not that often.
You'd have like a nice platter of zoodles with like chimichurri sauce.
That's so sad.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I don't know, because I think that you see a lot of. So I'm gonna be selfish here because you see a lot of pizza with action figures. Like the Ninja Turtles, there've been tons of
Yeah.
them. I have like 5 different pizzas on my desk in that scale.
Yep.
But like you pulling up this Deadpool figure showed me that you really don't get a lot of burritos.
Yeah, the burritos are kind of they don't get a lot of love. The 6-inch version of Deadpool actually came with a taco, which was good. I don't know if that was just, it was harder to make a realistic taco at 1/6 scale or something, like the stuff all falls out of it or what. But,
Yep.
Yeah, there's a Spider-Man figure that's out there that has a piece of pizza that's got like some of the cheese hanging off of it.
So I
And
actually-
it's really good, and it's also a rare ass figure because people want that pizza.
I actually don't know what your favorite food is. Like if you had a Max Scoville
Yeah,
action
man,
figure.
I don't know. I don't know what I eat a lot of. I feel
Yeah.
like it'd be some dumb thing like a blender. Like it's like I'm gonna make my breakfast smoothie or something. I either drink a lot of energy drinks and stuff, but
No, like it's your birthday, and
Carrot cake?
your fiance's like, don't get started on the carrot cake.
What?
And
I
your
like
fiance's like, we're gonna go out to dinner somewhere. Where do you go? What do
I
you?
always screw that up. I'm like, I don't know, whatever you want. I'm not fussy. I don't know. I like
This
sushi.
is your chance to get an accessory that you would never have had.
I like hot dogs.
Hot dogs is a good one.
Hot dogs also just because they're funny. It reads well. Even if they screw up the paint, it's fine. Yeah, so I want to talk a little bit about post-credit scenes.
Yeah.
You know, we've all seen these. It's been, I'd say, probably a decade into kind of big, like, you know, nerd movies having those scenes that are just like, oh, Sam Jackson pops out. He's like, I want to talk to you about the Avengers or whatever. You know, whatever that is. Or, you know, Deadpool walks up to his own head and he says, oh, this was a terrible movie. Let's try again next time. Logan didn't have one, which makes sense if you've seen the movie, but also that was kind of a more serious movie. Meanwhile, Kong Skull Island did. I still haven't seen that. I don't know what happens, but apparently it's teasing the whole monster-verse that they're going to be trying to do.
Apparently it's awesome. Damon Hadfield tweeted out today that he really liked it.
Yeah, but I'm kind of sick of them. Like, the thing is I went into Logan, and the second the credits rolled, I was like, okay, I think I saw who, like, 3 of the actors were, and I was like, all right, I'm good. Thank you, movie. Have a nice night, you know, and I left. I didn't just sit there in my chair, but a bunch of people did, and it made me think, like, the only reason that I didn't stick around is because I knew ahead of time. And then on the flip side, like, if you know, if like Skull Island, like, if I know there's a thing there, I'll sit there and watch it. But the fact that everyone sort of expects it, does that kind of kill the fun? Does that ruin it? Is that the...
Yeah, so I feel like it's sort of like a cereal box prize at this point, where like just getting the cereal should be awesome, but when there's a toy inside, you're like, that's even better. But now when there's not a toy inside, you're like, the cereal sucks.
Yeah.
Like, people are disappointed by not getting post-credit scenes because they used to be few and far between.
Right.
It was like a nice surprise. And then we got so many of them over such a short span that
Yeah.
I think I think they're kind of played out, and B, I think we're kind of spoiled to expect them. So when we don't get one, like, I had to, like, I do this thing now where a movie ends. I went to go see Get Out over the weekend, and I checked my phone like a minute into the credits, and it was like, no, there's nothing here. And then like we got up and left, and it was liberating.
Yeah. Flip side, Logan did have a bit of a Deadpool 2 teaser at the start, which I thought was a really nice change of pace, and I kind of want to see more of that.
That's really awesome.
Like, movies used to have like weird shorts beforehand, like whether it was like a newsreel back in the 30s, or, you know, you'd go see like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, and there was like a weird like Roger Rabbit cartoon or whatever the hell that was.
Yeah, I mean, Pixar does a really good job of showing you like a short film before the movie that's sort of like something they want to flex. Their art team was like, well, this doesn't make sense as like a full 90-minute film.
I mean, it was really cool in, like, you know, Iron Man, the first one, before we knew the entire sort of the backbone of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yep.
The fact that Sam Jackson shows up and he's like, I'm Nick Fury, everyone's like, what? But
Right.
the fact that we know that DC is developing the next 7 DC movies, having Ben Affleck show up and talk to Amanda Waller at the end of Suicide Squad is kind of like, that's it?
yeah.
I mean, you know what you're doing. I mean, like, at this point, the Marvel ones are just kind of gags, which I appreciate. Like, Thor shows up at the end of Doctor Strange and just drinks a bunch of beer, and they're like, it's sort of teasing Thor 3, but it's also kind of just goofing around.
I think it's like we're seeing a lot of them in lieu of the fact that people buy and rent movies digitally now, so you don't really get that like DVD extras and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
Deleted scenes don't really exist anymore on, like, they do on YouTube, but they don't really become part of this whole package.
Yeah, they use them to promote stuff now.
Yeah, so you find this way to sort of tell that story and put that like little extra nook at the end of the film, and we get them all the time with comic book movies, but if you did a comic book movie that didn't have one now, people are like, where is it?
Yeah, I think a nice happy medium is when it's like 30 seconds into the credits.
Yeah.
It's almost like just like a kind of an odd like breakdown in a song where they're just like, oh, here's a gag. You
Well,
know?
like, no spoilers, but I mean, and it doesn't really matter, but we had the guys from CHiPs on earlier in the episode, and I really like the way their movie ends because they play a song and then the credits start rolling, and then they show just funny scenes or outtakes, which comedies are really, really good at doing that.
Outtakes are frequently better than the movie. I still maintain that Jim Carrey's funniest movie is the Liar Liar outtakes.
Dude, like, Jackie Chan's best stunts are when he breaks his leg in the outtakes for all of his movies. No, and then he has to put on, like, do you ever see Rumble in the Bronx?
Oh, hell yeah.
Like, when he breaks his foot in that movie and they make him a fake, like, Reebok or Nike shoe that they put over his cast, it's a sock that they paint to look like an athletic shoe, and then he does all these jumps off of, like, and you're seeing the movie in a different way. It's actually helping the content that you just consumed.
Yeah.
But I can't imagine, we're both huge Star Wars fans, I can't imagine, like, a Star Wars movie having a post-credit
Ooh, I don't
scene.
ever want Star Wars to do that.
Right.
I don't think that's good. I'd rather see weirdly enough, deleted scenes cut into the main movie, which we still haven't gotten. Like there were deleted scenes in Force Awakens and Rogue One, but they weren't like, oh, here's the extended cut. Like that's Star Wars. I feel like goes more in the kind of Lord of the Rings category, where it's like, oh, you have more to add to this? By all means, stretch it out. Then, oh, you've got some extra bits and pieces, throw it at the end.
Yeah, but what bums me out is that they never lean into that. We never get like longer cuts of Star Wars films.
Why not? I don't know. We should. Please.
Yeah, like it was very odd that J.J. Abrams was like, the movie was getting too long. And it was like, dude, we waited 30 years to the sequel to The Return of the Jedi.
I bought 4 Constable Zuvios.
Yeah,
Where was that man?
Exactly. So I don't know. Let us know what you think of post-credit scenes. Personally, I think they're kind of played out. There's still a nice surprise here and there, but I think you also like can just watch them online too. I hate seeing the
Why
stories.
even go to the movies? Just watch trailers online.
Don't go anywhere.
Yeah.
Just pull up pictures on your desktop and you can go to Paris.
Why even
for
watch
free.
the movie when you could just watch 2 idiots on IGN talk about the
Cry
movie?
in a VR helmet.
There you go.
So yeah, that's where we are on this. I don't want them to die completely. I think there's a good use for them here and there, but also I think there's too many movies with them. So let us know what you think. Use the hashtag #AtNoon. Maybe we'll talk about it later.
Good.
What else we got, Max?
I don't know. They haven't moved the prompter up yet. It just says our post-credit scene totally played out, and then number 7. That's how I make the show, man. I don't, you know.
Nintendo Switch. I got
yeah.
one right here. I'm actually downloading The Binding of Isaac right now, which has like one of my favorite icons on. Have you seen that yet? I'll show it to you.
What's it look like?
There you
Okay.
go. It's
Ooh,
just a screaming,
creepy, yeah.
it's a screaming, crying baby. I really love this thing.
Yeah.
It feels like the most sophisticated thing that Nintendo's ever made in terms of just design. Their UI is clean and simplistic.
Yeah, well, it's also the most sophisticated thing they've ever made in terms of sexual innuendo. Yeah, so here's the thing. Nintendo Switch, kind of a sparse launch lineup. We got, we got Zelda, we got 1-2 Switch, we got Snipper Clips, we got Just Dance, we got whatever the hell else it was. I'm coming to realize that this is like, I think this might be their first console that's kind of being like, all right, we realize we have an older audience. We realize that our fans do grow up sometimes, and you can kind of get that by the fact that if you watch the trailers for it, it's got like, oh, Karen taking her Switch to the party. And like, I've been playing, a bunch of games like we all have. 1-2 Switch is an adult sex party game. I'm just gonna call it that. That game is just rife with not even like subtle innuendo, but just like a kind of a jab in the ribs rather than a wink and a nod. Oh, a sword fight. Okay. These adults in their kitchen. Then of course there's just this one where you rub the thing on your face. You're shaving, I guess.
Yep.
What's funny though is there's weird
This
little
one?
that one. Yeah, come on. Come on.
Come
on. And the thing that I was playing 1-2 Switch before it first came out, and we were just like, the first time we played the milk game, everyone in the room was just like, what is this? I mean, it was like our moon landing, honestly. But like, there's actually a part in there where instead of the usual kind of, hey, have you thought about taking a break and going outside, like your mom would say when you're playing games? They show this image where, and I should have pulled it up, but it's got a glass of white wine in the background, and it says, you can add your own rules too. Like, did Nintendo just tell us to make a drinking game out of 1-2 Switch?
Yeah, it's very suggestive.
Yeah, and of course there's Snipper Clips, which is, at a glance, it's like the cutest little game. It looks like a bunch of office supplies. They're having a fun adventure together. But the thing you kind of don't know going into that is that when you play that game cooperatively with people, making little cutouts of each other, you are going to say things that I don't know we're actually allowed to say on the show.
Well, we can try, because I think this is the kind of game where your neighbors will hear you playing it and be like, because here's the thing, I'll give you a few quotes I've yelled.
It's too big. It's not going to fit. Get on top of me.
Get inside me.
Get underneath me. You're doing it too fast.
Cut me open.
No, that right there. Yes.
Turn me into a hook.
Yeah. That's where it gets really weird. But I mean, like, it's...
Push the pencil in the hole.
Yeah, just shove it in there. Do that and just keep doing it. But no, like, I mean, that's it. I feel like we're on this odd thin ice here. Like, they made... Look what they're doing. Play this game with people.
Shove it inside me.
And it's not just your typical, like, oh, that's what she said. It's like, no, if you play this with...
Push the frog in my hole.
Fill me with green slime. If you play this game with a group of people, I played this 4-player co-op, and we were all blushing. We're all adults.
Yeah.
Who have held hands before and done other adult things.
Kissy stuff.
But it doesn't stop there. We've also got Breath of the Wild,
Yes.
which of course is Zelda. It's, there's always like sort of fun little, cutesy things in Zelda. A bunch of people have noticed this. Aside from the fact that everybody wants to do nasty, weird internet things to Prince Sidon, that street shark who you ride around on his back, a lot of people have pointed out that pretty much everybody in a Hyrule wants to do stuff with Link. Everyone just hits on you. You walk around, everybody, across the board. Jean-Luc Sipke from GameSpot pointed this out. We honestly, full disclosure, we went on Twitter and we searched Link hitting on, and I think that didn't really yield any good results on Twitter.
Porn. Just
Imagine that.
spam porn.
Searching Link on the internet didn't help us. But yeah, he points out that like, the thought of a hunk drawing a bow makes my day. This is a weird old lady.
Yep.
Then you've got, I don't know why, but my heart. You're reading somebody's like literotica diary.
Yep.
And then of course there's these weird, these frisky construction workers who are just ogling you the whole time. You got to buy all their furniture before they even get off your lawn.
This guy is such a weird character.
Yeah, this guy. This is from my game. I was just like, well, there's that man. I don't like his hair. His mustache is great, but that hair is weird.
Is that a hair or like like one of those Royal Guard helmets that he just wore out?
I think it's a weird hair. He looks like that dude from The Big Bang Theory.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, people are just kind of noticing left and right that Zelda is just a very, very frisky game. And then, of course, you pointed out there's a game called Master Blaster.
Yeah,
which
but I didn't
think
see this screenshot, dude.
Okay, I mean, you put that in there. Master Blaster's been around
Crabulous?
for ages. Yeah. Hey, man, be careful what you do with all that 1-2 switch. You might come down with a case of the Crabulous. But anyway, so this is something that made me think of this. Nintendo, we think of them as kind of being almost the Disney of video games. They're this family-friendly company, but let's not forget that their background is in some more sordid, nuanced adult pastimes. They made playing cards, they made Hanafuda cards, they made stuff for gambling. In the 70s, they made a love tester, which was effectively a weird analog precursor to Tinder, where you're like, do we match? I don't know, let's kiss and electrocute each other and find out. Nintendo pinup cards. Like, I feel like the company is kind of going back to what they used to be, which was sort of like, hey man, sometimes adults want to do some weird frisky stuff, and that's fine.
Dude, love testers? They made love hotels.
There you
know
go.
what a love hotel is?
Not personally.
It's where people go to
Kiss? Hold hands? Wait, are you?
I'm not gonna say the word.
I guess we're gonna end the video there. Anyway, yeah. So Nintendo, I love it. I just think
it's really awesome. I really like watching this company change and evolve. I think that what we're seeing right now is that there is a younger generation of talent working there, and they're just like, they're coming in energized. Like I think for a very long time, no offense to the old guard at Nintendo, but we got a lot of the same sort of things with some great ideas here and there. But we have this new team working on stuff like 1-2 Switch and Splatoon, taking things in this crazy new direction. So
yeah,
I'm very excited for this.
What it feels like to me is when you get back from college and your dad's like, "You want to split a beer, son?" And you're like, "Whoa, Dad's let me drink beer in the house. What's this?" And it's like kind of this wink and a nod that like, yeah, you're growing up. It's fine, It's like we've come a long way from like Grandma wants to play Wii bowling or Nintendo Land is the closest thing to a Metroid game we got on that system. Yeah. So. Moving on.
It's a good time to be an adult with a children's toy.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest with you. I have no shame about carrying this thing anywhere, even if it was neon. There's this, and I say this a lot, but there's a lot of people who are like, I don't bring my handhelds out. That's for kids. Grow up, you man-child, you big idiot.
I really don't care.
Yeah, I don't care at all. Look at us. Do you think we care how we're judged by anyone, by how adult we are? Look at this brain damage sprawled all over the giant desk over here. Look at our set.
Please.
Who cares?
Look at it.
Be a child in an adult's body. Just eat food and then pay your taxes, and so you don't go to jail. Because if you're a child in jail, ooh, you're in trouble.
You know who's in jail for not paying his taxes, don't you? Wesley Snipes.
Yeah.
The Blade.
Yeah, and if he was more of a child, he would probably still be in jail for being Wesley Snipes, because that's just the way that worked.
Yep. Some folks are just trying to ice skate uphill. Anyway. So I saw a really ridiculous story on the internet today. There's a new iPhone case that's on Kickstarter. It's called the SDI. That doesn't sound great when you say it out loud.
No, that sounds like a disease.
Yeah, well, a lot of people are backing it. It's got over, I think, $100,000 on Kickstarter. Here's an image of what it looks like. It might take you a second to figure out what's wrong with this picture. Huh. It's an iPhone case that's also an Android device.
What?
Yeah, so basically, you put your iPhone in this case, it acts as a backup battery and an extra phone. And it uses I think it uses the camera, the headphone jack. It basically connects to the iPhone and uses some of the parts of it. So you can use the Android screen to take a picture of yourself with the iPhone. I'm still not sure how that works. But yeah, it's like, it seems like one of those kind of crazy, like roundabout things. You can put extra SIM cards in there. I think it has infrared support, which, you know, the iPhone doesn't, so you can turn off TVs in bars if you don't want to watch sports, stuff like that. This thing is kind of wacky, but it got me kind of falling down this rabbit hole.
Hold on, I have to pause for that. Is one of the weirdest things I've ever seen on Kickstarter, and Kickstarter is a website dedicated to weird things. That's completely insane. That's like if you had if I turned my Switch over and there was a Vita on the other side of it. That's completely nuts.
I don't know. I think it's pretty cool. Like,
are you gonna get one?
Initially, hell no. Initially, I feel like if they made a dumbed down version that was like, hey, it's I don't even know, a backup screen. I actually know I have no need for this. But it's a cool idea, and I think it makes a ton of sense for developers. Honestly, if you're trying to develop simultaneously for both, and you need like to test stuff on it, or if you're just I don't know what the practical application is here, but it's out there. You can go to sd.me and check that out. But anyway, like I said, I fell down this weird rabbit hole of other phone cases that are also just kind of insane and over the top and sort of stupid, but still sort of cool. You know, there's always that level of like sort of James Bond gimmickry where you're like, I don't need ejector seats in my car, but I want them.
It's nice to have a thing that you'll never really use, but to know that it's there in case you might want to use it.
Sure. Well, let's start out with this one. This is a case you might have seen out there in the wild. People make these phone cases that look like books. Weird part about that, though, is you either look like the guy who carries around the Bible, like you're a priest, or you're taking selfies with a Bible. That gets kind of weird, too.
Yeah.
What I like here is, if we get that lower third out of there, if you see the encyclopedia isn't the entire encyclopedia, it's just E through F.
What?
So you look like a third grader trying to act smart. You're just carrying around like a volume of the encyclopedia.
Why those letters?
I don't know. It's the first part of the encyclopedia. I think they're like, it's not unrealistic for it to, you can fit the entire, it's like, it is the Hitchhiker's Guide. You got Wikipedia on that thing, but.
Side tangent, but is the word encyclopedia in the encyclopedia?
All right, so moving on, you could also get these weird cartoon character cases. I like this because this is also the top 5 phone cases that my girlfriend had at one point and then inevitably broke or lost or just realized was a terrible idea.
Yep.
These are not for people who put their phones in their pockets.
No, I don't get this because this is like, it's so impractical.
I mean, I guess maybe if you got a child who you don't want them to drop the phone.
Also, Totoro looks like he got shot. like someone shot him dead. That's like.
That looks like the end of T1000.
He should be outlined in chalk. That cat in the corner with either like his pangus or a turd riding up his leg.
That's a weird placement for that.
He looks like he's got like a predator laser dot on his head.
Yeah.
Yeah. All these animals look very sick.
I don't think we're even allowed to talk about what Totoro's ears look like there. So let's move on to the next one.
Oh!
Which is this guy.
What is this?
So I looked at this. I was looking at. They do make these ones that are like basically utility kits, which are iPhone cases that have like screwdrivers and nail clippers and all kinds of stuff that come out of it. And I was like, it's such a cool idea, but if you ever get on an airplane, you're pretty much screwed.
Yeah.
And then I looked at those were TSA compliant, so I just searched iPhone case knife. So you can be like, yeah, here's a thing for just cutting stuff up and opening bottles. Like
this is TSA compliant?
I do not think this is
No
TSA
way.
compliant. Anybody who has this phone case is probably traveling by boxcar.
Yeah, this also looks like
No
something
offense.
a predator would use.
But if you're gonna come and like stab me with your phone, it'll take you a second to get here via boxcar.
also, for something this deadly, it just looks like a little mouse wearing a bow in its head. You know, it's actually very cute from the front.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's another one. This one.
What the?
This is where it goes just off the rails. Okay, so let's say you like going on your phone.
Yeah.
You like drinking beer. You like smoking cigarettes. But you also like telling people about it, you know? You want to maybe make a vlog about what it's like to be that sort of person. Well, good news, because not only does this phone case light cigarettes, open beers, it's also a tripod!
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can film yourself dying at 40.
Yeah. So anyway, those are phone cases that are slightly, they're all fine.
What? No, they're not all fine.
Okay.
I think some of them are okay a little bit. Most of those are terrifying. That last one is really scary. You shouldn't have a knife on your phone or this. This looks like a threat. This is a threat.
I still like the book one the best because at a glance you're like, that's cute. And then you realize that if you're walking down the street holding a Bible to your head, you look certifiably insane.
Yep. Well, you know what? That's the thwart off real dumbass robbers who thinks that all books are super tiny.
All right. Yeah. We have fun here.
We do have fun
Sometimes
here.
we even play games like this one, NeuroVoider.
A+ segue.
Okay, whatever. What do you want?
What's up, guys? It's Brian and Max from Up at Noon, and today we're playing NeuroVoider. Rockin' soundtrack right off the bat. NeuroVoider is a shooter-based RPG. So basically a shmup RPG.
Yeah, it's also got some roguelite elements because it's 2017 and what doesn't?
Yep.
Oh boy. Okay.
So this is pretty rad because I love shooters and I love RPGs, so it's kind of interesting to see them come together like this, or at least shmups. Like I grew up playing games like Life Force and Gradius and Ikaruga, so this is pretty rad. Radiant Silvergun, also my jam. So this is cool.
Yeah. There's
so
a lot of like systems in play here.
Ooh.
Well, I died. I wasn't sure if the computer screwed up or what.
Wow.
But, yeah, so it's a tough game.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess quick restart. There's a lot of like kind of variables here. Like you pick a basic build.
Cool.
For a dude, I was playing as I think this one last time.
And you start this game as a floating brain, and then you sort of enter
You get
a
in
robot.
Yeah,
right?
look at all. There's like 27 things off the bat. There's just different.
Is that like a sword? Oh, that's
Yeah.
rad.
Let's do that one. I don't know what that does. And these are all I think randomly generated, probably. So yeah, here we are in the furnace. Ah, my nemesis awaits.
It said something about pizza down there. I missed it though.
Yeah, that's weird. Where are the bad boys? Oh boy. Okay.
Okay, cool. So now you've got more of like a. It's more of like a slasher than a shooter.
Weird.
Interesting.
Huh. How do I
Yeah, this
dash?
soundtrack rules, man.
Yeah. I kind of wish that you were like a little man or something, or a little person. I don't know. I'm always kind of weird about
robots. You robot racist?
I mean, a little bit, yeah. I don't like them taking my jobs.
Then I don't think they're gonna take your job.
Yeah, I think robots would realize that my job is garbage.
Yeah.
Like, why would you ever need that? That's not a useful job.
Do you think robots want to take your job where you go to work and complain about robots? They don't want that job.
Build a robot that just talks about games.
So
Procedurally generated game commentary.
I'm trying to figure out like the leveling up system thing, because that's my favorite thing to do in RPG is slowly get stronger.
Oh boy. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. So this
So
is
yeah,
kicking.
this is tough.
This is definitely kicking my ass. Okay,
I really dig
so that was
the,
less than a minute. Good lord.
I really dig the pixel art. We see a lot of games with pixel art these days that don't get it right. Like all the pixels are different sizes, but this straight up looks like this would have existed like back on the Super Nintendo or a PC back in the day, maybe a 32X.
Yeah, totally. Man. Yeah, I get just incredibly anxious at any kind of like procedural generation at this point. Like it's infinite.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's too much. Too much stuff.
This one's interesting. You're in like an old office building.
It's pretty gorgeous. Uh-oh, here comes that guy. I can't tell where the wall is. Ah! There we go. Ooh, goodies.
Oh, man, loot.
Wow, okay, so that's cool. What do we got? Nice treats and treasures. Snacks and delights. All sorts of things a robot boy loves.
Yeah, this is rad. So you're, I guess, some of the bigger enemies, like one of the ones you just took down, drop better stuff, which you can probably use to upgrade and build new weapons and stuff. Man, you're already low on health. It's tough, man. It's a tough game.
Yeah, seriously. So, I gotta destroy these reactors. Damn it. All right. Well, what's in here? Snacks? Robot loves a good snack. So I gotta destroy this reactor. Okay, there we go. Ah! I feel like I'm moving incredibly slowly for how fast the enemies are. Oh, cool. Okay, there's my... Ah! All right, there's one. Kind of learning where the doors are. Yeah, this is a rad game. I don't know if I'd get into this. Ooh, treats.
Too hard?
Yeah, too hard. And also just that whole like procedural like generation element. Like that's always just I mean, I didn't get into like I don't know, Spelunky or Rogue Legacy because they were kind of just like, well, do you beat it?
Right.
Not really.
Yeah, it's interesting because the people that like really lock into those games get like crazy good at them.
Yeah.
And really hooked.
Yeah, I
kinda
think
like
that
Binding of Isaac.
This actually has like a daily challenge mode to it too, so you can kind of like compete on, I'm guessing, leaderboards with other people.
Sweet.
Yeah, it's
You're
rad.
doing good so far with this funny guy with the long legs.
Yeah,
Like,
apparently, I
that's
just
that's
need
your
to be
style.
playing a tank. Yeah. Ha!
These little minions.
Funny little boys. Come here. Okay. Ooh, what's that? Oh, that hurt. Okay,
Is that a
let's
garbage
get it.
can?
Yeah,
full,
blew
of,
up a
full
garbage
of
can.
gasoline.
Yeah, people keep throwing away their gasoline. That really should go in the compost. Ah! Come on. Okay.
You're doing good for somebody
Thanks.
that was like, I don't know if I'm going to get in this game. You're whooping some ass right now.
There we go. And I defeated the generators. All right, so yeah, beat the level. Cool, and we're out
Sweet.
of there.
Well, that's NeuroVoider. It's out now. It's on PS4, Xbox One, and Steam. You can check that out if you're looking for something to shoot and also level up at the same time. There it is. And if you want to pick those funny robots with the tank legs and that weird little eye.
Yeah.
That's
Gear
it.
up and experiment. NeuroVoider.
Welcome back to Animal Christmas. I'm Pegasus, and this is Mariatha.
It's good to see you all again. Today we're going to be tying cats together and seeing how loud they can meow. We're making a new musical album just in time for Easter.
How to get an amethyst geode out of a Cocker Spaniel's stomach without harming it.
Tonight on Panther Pets. Should you have one? The answer is still no. They're very dangerous.
Anyway,
What is wrong with us?
I don't know. We basically were like, I think we did our homework this week. Let's fall asleep in class. You may now have free time in the corner of your desk. I don't know.
Yeah, so we like to spend the last few minutes of the show these days as we have rapidly learned that our brains have just evaporated to mush by the end of every episode
Yeah,
of the
pretty
show.
much.
Checking in with the audience. You can use the hashtag up at noon. If you want us to answer your questions, get those questions in right now, like right this second.
Yep.
Justin G says, what do you think of a Lego Marvel movie, similar to the Batman one, maybe even a Lego Avengers movie?
I mean, it's never going to happen. I feel
What?
like I feel like it's never going to happen. Just because I don't know. What is it? Something about WB. I don't know who. Nobody owns Lego. I think they just are in a partnership with WB.
Right.
So it's
But we
complicated
can
there.
get Lego Marvel and Lego Avengers toys, but you don't think we'll ever get a movie out of it?
Yeah, it's one of those weird rat's nests of likeness rights and stuff. I was just thinking, I think last night about how much I absolutely loved Lego Marvel superheroes and how we're probably never going to get another one of those because that had not only Marvel characters in a WB Games game, that also had X-Men characters who were under Fox. So you had somehow miraculously Fox, Disney, and WB all playing nice together for 10 minutes, and an amazing game came out of it, but I feel like it's probably a long
Right.
shot before we get that again.
What are your favorite 2D platformers? We got a good question over here from, I lost it. Give me a second.
Okay.
Evan M. Hibbard. It says, what are some of your favorite 2D platformers from the 90s?
Super Metroid, Yoshi's Island.
I'm actually more of a Mario World than a Yoshi's Island guy.
It doesn't surprise me one bit.
Yeah.
I liked when it gets a little bit more like complicated. Like I'm not like a straight platformer guy. I like a little bit of like either exploration or just like weird gizmos and
Yep.
gadgets. I always like Yoshi's Island because you get like you eat a bunch of melons and you eat a watermelon and it's like getting a machine gun and you're like, that's odd.
Yeah.
Why do I have a child on me?
Klonoa is another one I really like. I sometimes like I'm hit or miss with the Kirby games. They can be really cool just because they're
Yeah.
like way less stressful.
I like Wario just because you're like, what is this game? What is happening here? He like, what was that one? He like can't die, but he just gets electrocuted and he's like,
Yeah, that's very odd.
Yeah.
Andrew Rogers says, what is needed for adult sweatpants usage to become acceptable? We made a joke at the beginning of the show about wearing sweatpants to a movie by yourself on a Monday morning. How do we make it so you can
So,
wear sweatpants everywhere?
I think you have to really just own it on every level. Like if it's like nacho sweatpants, if it's like you've been eating just big snacks and getting the food on the pants, or if you like slept in them, you're gonna just look like a scrub. But if you're wearing like Timberlands, like laces out, and like a big jacket, and like maybe like a fitted cap, and it's like clearly this is all part of like one of like if you're dressed like Drake,
Right.
yeah.
Well, that's sort of like if you had like, it's like having like lobster and McDonald's French fries. You know,
Yeah.
it's kind of like you can throw it off a little bit.
If you're Wolfgang Puck, you can pull it off.
If you,
but,
you can pull
yeah.
it off, yeah. I mean, you see a lot of girls that wear sweatpants and like big ass UGG boots or something like that, and you're like,
Yeah.
that's a thin line between like just being a disaster person or really having it all
Yeah.
under control.
You can wear sweatpants on an airplane, no problem.
Charles on Twitter says, "How's the frame rate drop in Zelda? I heard a lot. Is it really bad or totally negligible?"
It's fine. It's
Yeah.
totally, like on handheld, I haven't noticed a bit. It's also the frames are smaller, so when their rate is in flux, I don't really. It's so little. Look at the little man. But playing on the TV, it sometimes occasionally dips, but it's like it's not a big deal.
One of the things I've noticed is when you're walking through like a big field with a lot of grass and that's when it chugs a little bit on your TV, not so much on handheld mode for some odd reason. But you actually, during combat, I haven't seen a ton of it.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I'm okay with that. Tiger Bauer, I can't show you the screenshot, but he says he found a Breath of the Wild screenshot where Link is actually sitting in front of a journal and he's reading from a journal entry from Lonely Arrow Girl who says, "I hope he comes by and knocks an arrow for me.
Oh my lord!
It's been way too long."
Let's see if I can pull that up here.
Yeah, so that's a little perverted.
Good lord. Yeah, here we go. I got that right here. Want to take a look?
Yeah, let's take a look at that.
My goodness. Lonely Arrow Girl. Ooh la la.
Oh, she's very pervy.
My goodness. Yeah, keep reading by all means.
David Joseph Wesley asked, "Did you see the full-size AT-ATs at Disneyland? There's a construction video
We
going
almost
around
talked
right
about
now."
those, yeah. That'll be cool. I'm excited about that.
It's weird because it just looks like stuff outside of like Oakland right now.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, Star Wars Land is coming to Disney. Where is it?
Disneyland is coming to Star Wars. They're gonna blow it up.
Well, to me, I don't care. Like, I just want the Star Wars parts.
Yeah.
Like Mickey and Minnie can go make out under a boat. I don't care about any of them. Yeah, you heard me. I'm talking smack to that couple, that famous mouse couple. Thank you so much for watching Up at Noon today. I'm Brian Altano. That's Max Scoville. We had a really good time doing this show.
Yeah, seriously.
Later on today, speaking of Legend of Zelda, we're putting up a brand new episode of my new show, Linked Together, which I do with Zach Ryan, who used to produce this show. He's been on here a couple times. The catch of that is we play Zelda on a Switch, but each holding one Joy-Con each, and we have to coordinate using lots of very aggressive yelling and fighting, and hilarity ensues.
It's also
and we die
really
constantly.
funny because Zach occasionally takes things too seriously. So it's a kind of nice buddy cop dynamic.
Yeah.
Also, Zach is overcoming knee surgery. So hop on Twitter and give him a holler. He's Zacharias D on there. He's sitting there with a funny Jackie Chan Reebok sock over his cast. Yeah, we'll be back next week. I have no idea what we're doing. Probably one of the stories we didn't talk about this week because we were too busy goofing around.
We may or may not have a really cool guest.
Yep.
So we'll let you know. But thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you soon.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody. Max and Brian here. It's Up at Noon in 15 minutes. It's going to be great. If you have a clock near you, take a look at it and make sure that it's all lined up so that it's almost 12, because that's what noon is where we are, unless you're in a different time zone, in which case, who cares? We're playing Zelda, the Breath of the Wild. Brian, this is your game. You've been playing a lot of this game, as you can tell by your hearts and the Master Sword and your frog companion who just ran away. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I'm playing